Now in this lesson of the program, I'm going to go over some very important topics. Now the first thing I want to go over is what should your strategy be in the stock market in order to make money. So basically you buy low and then you hold long term and then later on you cash out for a pretty large profit. So the most important thing is this is not some sort of get rich quick scheme. You want to buy stocks and then hold them long term. For example, $700 in Apple 10 years ago would now be worth $9,000. So imagine you just held for 10 years and then you sold now. Depending on how many shares you had, you could definitely make over $1 million. And I personally plan to hold my stocks for 5+ years. Now you don't have to hold it for that long. You could hold it for less, but there is some people out there who hold them for longer than 10 years, and in my opinion, that's the best way to do it. Now, there's also another way you can make money in the stock market, and this is by dividends. Now, only some companies will pay dividends, but I'm going to explain exactly what it is. So I'm going to use TD Bank as an example. So let's say you buy one single share of TD for $70.90. So it's like you're giving your money in exchange for a teeny piece of the company. And because of this, you're going to get paid something which is called dividends. And this is basically just a percentage that you get paid every year for holding on to the stock. So right here where it says dividend yield 4.46%, you'll be getting paid this percent every year. So for example, let's say you had $10,000 invested in TD Bank. Well, that means that every year you're going to get paid $446, and this is just extra money that you get by doing nothing. So basically, it's just like a bonus for holding the stock. So whenever you want to see if a company does pay a dividend, all you have to do is look at the div yield and see how much it is. And some companies don't pay a dividend, but a lot of them do. And this is one of the best ways to make money because you don't have to do anything at all to get this extra money. All you have to do is buy the stock and hold it, and then you're automatically going to get this dividend. And my favorite stocks for dividends is TD Bank and Bank of Montreal. These ones pay really good dividends and they're also pretty safe stocks to hold long term. Now the next thing I want to go over is how you can actually pick good stocks to buy, and I'm going to make this as simple as possible. And I have used this exact same strategy to make over $100,000 in profits in the stock market just this year. And I'll be honest with you guys, there is nothing special about this. It's honestly very simple, but the simpler it is, the more effective. So I personally only invest in blue chip stocks. And basically, a blue chip stock is just a company that is well known everywhere, it is established, and it has a good reputation. So examples of blue chip stocks would be like Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and the list goes on. And the reason why I invest in blue chip stocks is because I know that there's going to be less risk and I feel much safer putting my money there. Now, it's not as simple as just buying blue chip stocks, but you also have to understand the business model. So for example, I love Amazon, I use it all the time, and I understand the business model. Amazon is basically just a convenient way to get your products online, shipped to your house very quickly. And it has amazing customer service, fast shipping, they also have a huge market. And selling stuff online is going to continue to grow every single year, and for that reason I believe that Amazon is also going to continue to grow. And so because I believe that Amazon is going to grow long term, I feel comfortable putting my money in Amazon. So just to summarize again, the only time I'd actually buy an individual stock is if it's a blue chip stock and I understand the business model. And another bonus is that I am a customer and I do believe the company is going to also do very well long term. And I believe I already told you guys what stocks I'm currently invested in, but here are all of them, and these are all blue chip stocks. So I feel safe putting my money in these stocks, and I do believe that each of these companies are also going to grow long term. And because all of these companies are very well established, I feel a lot safer putting my money in them. And every single one of my investments here has also been on the uptrend. And so if you want to confirm that a company has been on the uptrend, just search it up in Google. And what you want to do here on this graph is click on Max. And just by looking at this chart, you can see that the company has had steady growth long term. So back in 2014, a single share was $55, and now it's over $277. And I believe that this company is just going to continue to grow long term. And this is all you really need to know when it comes to picking individual stocks. Now, I do want to introduce you to something that's even better than actually picking individual stocks. and this option is called index funds. So I'm just going to briefly explain what an index fund is. So here we have the index fund SPY, and just for the small price of $363, you are buying a teeny piece of 500 plus companies. So instead of just buying a single stock and worrying about its performance, you can just buy an index fund. And the best part about index funds is there's basically no risk, it's really easy to buy, and you don't have to do any research. And 99% of the time, index funds do better than individual stocks, and this has been proven. And so this index fund right here, which is SPY, is probably one of my favorite index funds. And for example, when you buy the index fund SPY, it's also like you're buying a very small piece of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Google, and so much more, and all these companies are huge and really good. And since you're a beginner, to make things easy, I highly recommend you actually start with index funds, and later on you can look into individual stocks. And you will be able to buy this index fund in your stock account. All you have to do is search up SPY. So it doesn't matter where you live in the world, this index fund is good for everyone worldwide. But I will say there is a special one for anyone that lives in Canada. So if you live in Canada, the one that you actually want to look into is VFV.to. This is very similar, except it's just specialized for Canadians, while the other one is for anyone worldwide. And now this is going to be all for this lesson, and in the next lesson I'm actually going to come up with a plan for you, basically telling you which stocks you can buy and how you're going to buy them and when you're going to buy them. So I'll go through everything you need and the exact strategy you should use when you're going to buy your stocks. So I'll see you guys in the next lesson.